Good evening and salutations, my G friends. Sonny and Lois. Okay? Lois wanted to come over to apologize for all the stuff that Tracy was up there saying, the generosity that he was giving Gio, and how Tracy was, well, essentially just trashing it. There's a very important question that Sonny asked. And because I think it was today. No, I think it was today. It was like, do you trust me around Gio? And she pretty much says yes. And I'm kind of just like, really? Because, the last person that was around Sunny is in a burn clinic. I part of the story is just really disappointing me. Because at one point, Carly comes over. Carly I feel like she's kind of giving Lois a stink eye a little bit. But, he's feeling down and everything like that. And he brings up the whole, Michael thing. And Carly pretty much comforts him, and it's like, hey, listen, so like it happened or whatever. But like, this is the second time that Michael has paid the price for just standing next to Sonny. And the first time that happened, Carly was livid. Carly wanted nothing to do with Sonny. Nothing. And now we're just like, well, when he calls next time, he'll definitely call you, because he loves you and everything. And I'm just like, what? Part of me's like, what reality am I living in where this makes sense? And granted, I was watching General Hospital for a very long time, since I was in high school. And there's something about just, there's something about the fact that she is not as mad at Sunny as I feel that she should be. Okay? Because, truth be told, and I already see the comments, but truth be told, let me ask you a question. This is for the mothers out there. If your son or daughter was hurt by the father of your child, like, not hurt by him, but hurt indirectly by him, any sort of accident that wound up happening, that was meant for him. Are you telling me that you'd be this copacetic? Like, I get it, it's a soap opera, so obviously we gotta, just kind of go with it. But, like, in reality, would y'all just be, you know, like how Carly is? Because I highly doubt. I highly doubt that. But I wanna know your comments. Apparently this is the day of making Sunny feel better because Dante comes over, and Dante also wants to apologize for Tracy's rude behavior, and also for him feeling like he didn't step up, he didn't intervene, he didn't defend him or anything like that. And there's one point where, Sonny's like, hey, listen, I would understand if you felt the same way as Tracy. He was like, I don't. And he's like, are you sure? Because your brother may sit there and think differently. Once again, we just find ways to be like, well, it wasn't actually, it wasn't meant for him. And I'm just like, yeah, we know that, but like, we just. Now, Dante left. Dante was with Brooke. Lulu comes in, and Lulu just, she's on one, right? She is on one. Now, we know why Lulu is upset. Lulu starts lashing out at Brook Lynn because Brook Lynn simply was like, hey, listen, you have a calming effect on Tracy. Maybe you could sit there and rein her in. The both snipped their looking like, Brooklyn leaves, goes to her room. Dante's like, you know what? Listen, I'm sick and tired of seeing that they're refereeing you to. So, like, he pretty much like, I'm not gonna deal with you. He's like, unless it's about Rocco, I don't care. He walks off. Lulu comes upstairs, and long story short, Lulu is like, I know what you did. I know that you had Dante's baby. So at this point, she's all shocked and shuddered and everything. And Lulu has a different picture of it. Lulu is not there thinking that, Tracy that she got a lawyer. She didn't even know it was a boy, right? She didn't even know it was a boy, and she is lashing out at her, right? Brooklyn tells her reasons about why she did it, crying and everything. I'm watching this. My hands were just like this. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, none of that fazed me because there's a point where Brooklyn tries to throw it back in Lulu's face. Well, I made the choice that was best for me, just like you made that choice when you were in high school. Oh, I get that. See, here's the difference, though, and this is what Lulu said. Dylan, no. She had the courtesy to sit there and tell Dylan what she did, what she was doing. And that's what she practically says. She starts getting, oh, I did this because it was the best choice for me. I did it to, give the baby a good life and everything like that. That sounds all good and great. And then she says, and I am not joking, she was like, if I told Dante, then it wouldn't be my choice anymore. Cool. So let's make this about you. The hell would Dante? And, there was a point she was like, and this would really piss me off. She was like, I never even got a chance to hold him. Yeah. Dante also never got a chance to hold him. So what's your point? What's your point? I don't understand. Because I never got a chance to hold him. Didn't even bother to sit there and finish that sentence off with, yeah, maybe Dante never got a chance to hold him too. But that's where we were going. So long story short, Lulu was like, tell him. Because she was like, hey, listen, you made the choice that you made back then, but you can tell him now. And if you don't tell him, I'll tell him. So yeah, that's the reality that you're dealing with at this point. And of course, she was all like, "Oh, well, you broke into the room, and you used Carly's key, and da 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 da." Like, normally under normal circumstances, I would sit there and side with you on something that's harebrained of Lulu, but you're missing the point. This is not about all the different laws that she broke because she did break laws. Let's be honest. This is about the decision that you made and how it affected Dante, not just you, because you're not the only person in the situation. Because you didn't just magically live, got pregnant by yourself. So, um, Josslyn's going through her WSB training, so you got that going on, and there's a point where the guy's like, "Why are you doing this for?" And she tells him the reason why. Well, it's very idealistic, and so you can leave now. What was a good enough reason to sit there and join? If the reasons that she gave you was not good enough, what was the reason? Oh, idealism gets you killed and stuff like that. I was like, so did you want her to just go in there and be like, I would just want to sit there and have a chance to use a gun. That's why I'm joining. Like, what answer would have been good enough for you? So, they do a little sparring or whatever, and Josslyn gets knocked down a couple of times. And then he says, you know, never fight fair. And then he got kicked in the nuts. I don't know. There's something about watching a guy get kicked in the nuts as a man that you just kind of like flinch a little bit. Like you kind of feel it in a sense. Like you don't feel it, but it's like you kind of feel it a little bit. If you're a man, well. If you're not, well, unless you're a man, you're not gonna understand. But most of us, we see something like that, we're like, ugh. Even though that we know it's fake, it's still. Um, I don't even know what Carly wants at this point. Like this scene just seems so goddamn stupid because he's at Kelly's. I mean, he's at Bobby's, and he's waiting to hope to run into Carly. Right? And Carly gets there, and they sit down, and now she's like, you know, our lifestyles are just not compatible. Your your lifestyle's not compatible. What? Was it last week the whole like we don't have a label and I want to know where I stand and if this is casual, if this is something serious. And so Jack is like, okay, I want to be serious with you. Carly's like, no, don't do that because that's not what you really want. Jack is like, okay, you know what? Take care of yourself, and he walks off. Carly's about to say something, but she doesn't. Then she just stands there like she's teary eyed and looking stupid. I'm like, Carly, what do you want? What do you want? If it was about the whole label thing, okay, fine. You want to know where you stood. You didn't want to sit there and be casual. You wanted something more, and that would have been fine. But then you went out to dinner with him. You went out to dinner with him. Let's be honest. You got jealous. You got jealous, and you walked off. And it is what it is. But then you're just like, well, where are we? Are we this? Are we that? And now it's our lifestyle's not compatible. You defuse bombs and you do espionage and you do this. See, when I said in my chat that Carly is wasting this man's time, and people was like, Albert, what are you talking about? You're a hater. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's me. So, the people that sat there and want to mock me, how do you feel about this situation? Just be honest, because like at this point, this is just laughable. Um, what the hell is going on with Sitwell? Sitwell shows her the knife, and she talks about the history of it. And there's a point where Sitwell's like, "Did you watch your mother get murdered?" Who asks a question like that? And then when she says it, you're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My curiosity sometimes just comes across as just being off-putting." That's like just saying that, sometimes I just come across as an asshole, but I'm really opinionated. It's like, what does that mean? Anyway, she pretty much says, do what you want, it's your knife, and she pretty much leaves. And he takes the knife with a napkin on it. Like, he wanted to make sure that her prints was on the knife. What? Who the hell knows? Um, and the last scene was with Isaiah and Jordan. So, Isaiah comes, knocking at the door, and Jordan is Jordan is in a kind of a situation, right? So she got on her whole Nazima or whatever face mask or whatever, right? And Isaiah tells her, "Hey, listen, the delivery person, I went up knocking his food over, and so, but I can cook you something." So he goes in the kitchen, whips her up some spaghetti or whatever the studio had on hand. Cool. He gets talking. There's a point where at first she's kind of hesitant about like I don't know, I guess like relations or whatever. And at first she's like, listen, just I thought we was gonna be sneaking around. This is gonna be sexy. And Isaiah was like, "What are you talking about? I am bringing the sexy. Like, what are you talking about? It's her. She's in sweatpants or whatever." I'm like, "Girl, you still look hot. Just stop. Like, you still bad. No." So they start making out and everything like that. And there's a point where afterwards, Isaiah decides to kill the mood. Let's just be honest. Isaiah decides to kill the goddamn mood. He's like, "So about this whole Sitwell situation, are you sure you want to do this because you're not a cop anymore and you're not going to have a backup? And why does it have to be you? I mean, you have the WSB after him, you have the cops, surveilling him. Like, why does it have to be you?" And she pretty much is like, "Hey, listen, this is how it's going to be. You're either going to be with me or you can kick rocks." That's not what she said. That is the general gist of the conversation. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Oh no, that's not it. I forgot about Ned and Lois. So Lois comes back to the house and she wants to sit there and talk to Tracy. Runs into Ned, not Justin from Days of Our Lives. Runs into Ned, which is the same character, but runs into Ned, right? And she tells him about the whole son situation with Tracy, and he agrees. He agrees with his mother. And then he starts coming up with all sorts of hypotheticals. Like, what if he joins the mob? What if he's indebted? What if he gets hurt just being near him? Which, okay, that is a huge possibility. Let's be honest. I mean, Michael's in the hospital, so let's not sit there and try to act like it's out the possibilities of realms or whatever. But then Ned asks another question. He's like, there used to be points in your life or whatever, like, hey, listen, you have this connection with him, that's fine. My thing is, before I even get to that, like, she's upset with Tracy because, Tracy was being somewhat extra. But to be fair, Sonny has done a lot to her family. Jason took a brain damaged kid and turned him into a killer. AJ goes without saying, right? So there's some bad blood there that Tracy does have towards Sunny. This isn't just like, oh, she's just being a mean girl or anything like that. So, like, part of it is like, she's like, you're going so extra, you're going so hard, and so at the same time, it's like, just because Sunny was cool with your family and treated your family well, like Gio and everything like that, doesn't necessarily mean that he had the best history with Tracy and her family. And I feel like in this weird way, she should kind of give her a bit of grace because you know what I'm saying, like, given the situation. But Ned is like, what makes Gio so different? You At one point apparently she advised Brenda to wear a wire. We was very cautious with Brook Lynn as far as, well, with Brook Lynn or even with Brook Lynn and the whole deception thing or whatever. But why Gio? Why are you being so? Oh, listen, if she wants to sit there and support Gio and give him money or whatever, that's totally cool. Why? What makes him so different? And of course, at this point, Lois freezes, and I think it just kind of ends there. Now, I feel like that's about it. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section. Or come to the live stream tonight. Well, you can do both. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be sitting up there talking about all 5 of the shows. General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and of course, Beyond the Gates. If you're not watching Beyond the Gates, watch Beyond the Gates. It's good. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.